You know the ground rules, the house rules by now. Please switch off your video and your mic. You can activate it when you want to ask me a question. I will call you out and you can tell me to whom you want to direct your question. Right. Good morning to Matt Pierce. Matt, will you set us off from Cape Town? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rayon. Good morning, Deon. Good morning, Marvin. Deon, perhaps if you could kick us off by commenting on specifically the forwards' performance against Argentina, given the changes that you made, some through injury, but a lot of selection changes, and the lack of rugby that a lot of those players had in the last 4 to 6 weeks. Just your levels of satisfaction with that performance generally.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, we always look for opportunities where we can broaden the experience of the players within our group, and we always consider different factors towards that. And from that point of view, I can actually say I'm very happy with the way the new guys have stepped in. Obviously, there's always things that happen in a game when we assess it where we can improve. So at this stage, I think coming in after a competitive series against the British and Irish Lions and playing against a quality side like Argentina, obviously it was a big step up that these youngsters had to make, and we were glad that they've reacted the way they've done. There were some good moments. I think they've handled them well. And obviously, when we look back, they will also have some good learnings in terms of things that didn't go so well. But in general, I'm quite happy in terms of how they responded.
And just as a follow-up to that, I mean, what does it say to you about, A, the depth available to you at this level, and also the attitude of those who hadn't been in a competitive match environment for all that time?
And I think it's a testament in terms of how about the base of the talent in the country, and then also in terms of how the guys in the group assist each other to become better. We never have a situation in our team where we actually rest players, but we put players in the situation where they have to fulfill different roles in order to prepare the team that's going to play better. And I think the leadership of the senior players and the way the youngsters react towards that and are being able to put up a performance the way they did, I mean, speaks to that whole team-based effort. And I think it's a good learning experience from the youngsters. And when we look back at this, and they've been played now against a team that is very, very competitive, they will look back at it and say that, listen, okay, I've experienced it now. I know now how it feels, and I know now I have a base from where I can improve on it. And we also have an opportunity now to evaluate that guy against the more senior players with more experience, and what still needs to be done to create more opportunities for them in order for them to improve.
Thank you, Deon. Marvin, if I could just ask you a two-part question. One, just what it was like for you personally to be playing test match rugby again, and then also for you to expand on Deon's comment around feeding off each other as players and the level of improvement you achieve by actually training with and against each other in this environment.
Yeah, no, firstly, Matt, it's always a big privilege and honor for me to be playing at the highest level. Obviously, this team has done some amazing things over the last couple of years, so the standards are quite high, and the standards to get into the group are quite high. So no, I'm really happy and really privileged and honored to be part of this group, and then yes, the last 3-4 weeks has been good for everyone, like the coach has said, and on the question as well, there's been the role of the guys not playing is to to prepare the ones that are playing as best possible. So I think some of us started learning the Lions, President Iron's Lions plays a lot better than our own. So yeah, in terms of fitness and those things, we all already, the guys are all hungry to get game time. So yeah, it was really good for myself and some of the other guys to be involved on the weekend.
And so you are experiencing personal growth in playing terms, just being part of this environment.
Yes, definitely. I mean, if you look at all the second rows in this group, some world class players. I've got a good relationship with Eben. We went to the same school, so we've known each other for a long time. So he's one guy that helps me quite a bit. Again, like I say, world class. There's Lot and Franco and also Nicolas, who's also really good player, and we learn so much from each other. So yeah, I think my personal game has grown, and I'm looking forward to more growth while being involved with the team.
Thank you both. Thanks, Raul.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, both of you. Nathan, you have your hand up. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. I've got two questions. Obviously, one for Coach Deon and one for Marvin. Coach Deon, are there any immediate injury updates from the squad? Then have you been watching the Currie Cup? And if so, are there any players that have stood out for you thus far? Perhaps will these players be utilized in the outgoing tour later this year?
Okay, Nathan, the last one first. To be honest with you, we've been zooming in terms of our preparation against Argentina and haven't looked in so much depth yet. Me personally, with the Currie Cup, there's things that we will catch up on as we go on. And then in terms of the injury update, obviously we're a bit thin in terms of scrum half and in terms of loose forward. A couple of guys are struggling there with injuries. That is why a guy like Jaden Hendricks, for instance, came in and had his first cap this weekend, and also a guy like Jean-Luc coming in at loose forward because we still have injuries to Dwayne Marco, who injured him in the last minute of the game, the last action of the game. Yeah, there's still some other loose forwards that are injured. So Reinhard Elstedt. So all of them are busy with their rehab, and they will be ready in the next couple of weeks when we go on tour and playing against Australia and New Zealand.
Thank you. And then for Marvin, you're known for your line-out prowess. How would you rate the line-out set piece last week? And are there any work-ons in the forwards department as you guys just came out of a team meeting?
Yeah, Nathan. I think the standards for this team, as I mentioned earlier, are quite high. We lost a couple of lineouts, and after doing our review with the coach and all the other guys, we saw that all of them were actually our own mistakes, our own concentration errors maybe. So we don't think it's much to be concerned about. Obviously, Argentina's got a good lineout as well, and we have to respect them. But we will always strive or not always, we have to try and fix those concentration errors we lost in those couple of lineouts we lost. So yeah, we are aware of it and we're working to fix it.
Thank you, Nathan. Percival Young, you have your hand up.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, colleagues. Ryan, ek gaan sommer 'n vraag in Afrikaans vra. Meneer afroter, Deon, kan ek vra, jy het gepraat van julle was redelik tevrede geweest met julle vertoning afgelope naweek. Waaraan sal julle wil werk in die naweek? En in Afrikaans dalk net Deon, kan jy net vir ons verduidelik rondom daai kwessies van beserings, die rol van Jean-Luc wat hy gaan bring? En wat is die erns van hulle?
Kan ons vir Deon kans gee om een vraag te antwoord? Ek gaan jou kans gee. Can we give Deon chance to answer one question? And then I will afford you a follow-up question. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption. Ask him your first question again, please.
I will certainly do that, Ryan. I apologize. Deon, ek vra nederig om verskoning. Deon, net kortliks, jy het gepraat van julle is tevrede met julle spel die afgelope naweek, veral die voorspel. Net jou indrukke daaroor die afgelope naweek se wedstryd.
Ek dink Percival, daar sal altyd areas wees wat ons op sal wil verbeter. So ons kyk na, ons doen 'n individuele analise. Dan doen ons 'n analise in terme van ons sisteme en dan ook in terme van ons werksetiek. So as ons gaan kyk na ons voorspelersanalyse, dan obviously natuurlik moet ons kyk na in terme van ons individuele vaardighede, wat kan ons dit verbeter? Is dit 'n gooi? Moet ons gaan kyk na lynstaande spesifiek, moet ons gaan kyk na hoe ons spring, moet ons optel tegniek verbeter, moet ons vinniger reageer, kan ons beter die hoogte wen wanneer ons dryfbewegings uitvoer. So daar's verskillende areas wat ons assesseer en ons wil natuurlik konstant verbeter in daardie verskillende areas. So ons het spesifieke dinge geïdentifiseer vandag en ons werk daaraan om te sorg dat ons dit beter uitvoer en 'n baie meer konstante vertoning kry in ons uitvoering van ons take.
Go ahead, Percy.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Deon, so ek vra jou net so 'n bietjie opsomming omtrent die beserings en die kwessies waarom jy bekommerd is. Ek weet in die verlede jy gepraat van julle is in 'n 48 protokol spasie nog, maar terselfdertyd maak julle intern julle reeds vandag julle span bekend en dan môre maak julle aan die publiek bekend. Is spelers soos Hussel Jantjies byvoorbeeld, is die erns van die besering van so aard dat julle nie vir hom kan kies byvoorbeeld en wat se rol van Jean-Luc in die span? Ryan, ek wil baie graag vir Marvin ook 'n vraag vra as dit later kans is.
100%.
Ja, ons is natuurlik, soos ek sê, ons is besig, ons het terugvoering vandag gekry oor die beserings van die spelers en ons is in die proses om dit natuurlik in oorweging te neem met die aankondiging van die span, maar soos ek genoem het, spelers soos Hussel Jantjies en Faf de Klerk op skrimskakel is steeds beseer, so hulle sal hopelik nie gereed wees vir hierdie wedstryd nie, maar sal oorweeg word sal gereed wees vir die wedstryd as ons op toer gaan. En dan onder die losvoorspelers het ons 'n paar beserings met Marco van Staden, Deon Vermeeren is nou 9 weke na sy operasie, so hy sal hopelik binne die volgende 2-3 weke sal hy reg wees om te speel. Jean-Luc de Pre is besig met nog rehab na sy kniebesering, so hy sal ook binne die volgende week of 2 sal hy gereed wees. Reinhard Elstedt is ook in rehabilitasie met sy kniebesering. So al daardie beserings, soos ek sê, in hierdie stadium is dinge wat hersien word, maar hopelik sal al daardie spelers gereed wees binne die volgende paar weke wanneer ons teen Australië en Nieu-Seeland speel.
Dankie. Percy, ek dink ons maak klaar met jou Afrikaans, so jy kan nog jou vraag vra in Afrikaans vir Marvin. Please ask your remaining question to Marvin and then we can move on. Thank you.
Ek sê weer baie dankie, Ryan. Marvin, net kortliks, die afrigters praat gewoonlik van spelerwelstand. Dink jy nou is 'n geleentheid, jy het vroeër in Engels geantwoord dat die mededinging is redelik goed, die kompetisie is redelik gesond in die squad. Is dit nou 'n geleentheid dalk vir jou om 'n klem af te steek om selfs vir die lang seisoen wat voorlê om op plek te bevestig, om te bevestig aan hierdie groep?
Ja, pas was weer eens die kompetisie in die groep is definitief sterk en ek dink van 'n speler se perspektief af die keuses is vir die afrigters en ons vertrou die afrigters om altyd die regte besluite te maak en om wanneer hulle vir almal 'n geleentheid gee of wanneer die geleentheid kom, as 'n speler moet mens reg wees en jy moet goeie energie bring, so vir my en ek is seker vir almal in die groep spelers, ons is almal geduldig en wanneer ons speel, weet ons moet ons beste doen en so die afrigters as hulle werk om vir ons te kies en wanneer ons speel, probeer ons beste om goed te doen.
Thank you very much, Marvin. Thank you, Percy. We're moving on swiftly and we say good morning now to Kanisong.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Good morning, guys. David, Deon, sorry, my question's for you. Are you able to talk us through the performance of Joseph Dwebo on Saturday and also the difficult balancing act of now having to rest and recuperate players after 5 consecutive tests, which will be the first one this weekend?
Yeah, to answer your last question first, I think when we select a team, there's always different variables that we consider. So as I said in the past, that Obviously, we look at the performance of the players, but we also have to look at issues like leadership, availability of leadership in the team. We want to build depth. We have more experience in the squad. We want to get the experience balance right in terms of the team. Obviously, we also have performance play against. Also look at the amount of tests available and how we're going to balance all our building more experience and depth into our group, but also working to get a result on Monday. So all of those things are balancing acts that we have to perform and consider for our selection during the week. And then a guy like Joseph Dweba, obviously we're happy to see that a guy coming through the systems, through the structures of SA Rugby from school level to under 20 level coming through and eventually gets an opportunity to play at the highest level. Obviously, I think playing in his first game, there will always be nerves and stuff, but I think Joseph, I think he held his own and really there were some good things that he done in the game. Obviously, there will always be the things that he can improve on, and he knows what it is. I mean, we have an an honest discussion about things, but that he's a talented player and that he can still play a lot of tests for South Africa going forward. I think that is definitely something that can happen depending on how much work we put in and in terms of the big picture going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesha. Thank you, Deon. Adnan Mohammed, you're up next. I don't think Adnan is listening. Okay, Fatima, good morning.
Good morning, Ray. Coach Deon. Ray, I just had a question. Sorry, I just came a little bit late, so I'm not sure if this
Fatima,
was
sorry,
covered.
Fatima, sorry to interrupt. You are very faint. We can barely hear you. You need to speak up, please.
Can you hear me now?
Um, just barely. Okay, go ahead. Let's see if we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to know, I'm not sure if this was covered already. Just in terms of the set pieces and focusing on Saturday, is there anything that you think that should be done differently? Although the team has been performing really well from the Test match right into the Rugby Championship, is there anything specific in terms of the set pieces that you think should be done differently?
When it comes down to the plan that we've created for this game, I think the decision that the players have made was was right. I think our execution in terms of that wasn't always the way we wanted to be. The good thing is that throughout the game, the players have focused on finding solutions, and that solutions helped us to react better and to improve as the game went along. And that happened within the lineouts, and that always happened, and it also happened within the scrums. So I think our targets going forward is, as Marvin also alluded to, is to set our own standards, to internally focus in terms of, listen, what can we as a team, as individuals do better, and how can we consistently ensure that that standards are being achieved in our training sessions, so that it actually can flow into Saturday's games. And I think that will be our biggest focus going forward in driving standards, ensuring that we grow in what we do, we get better all the time, and better in our execution.
Okay, Nathan, do you still have, is this your hand up? Is that for a new question?
Yes, please, Ray.
Okay, go ahead. We will conclude with you then. Thank you.
Thank you. Coach Deon, I know you pay a lot of attention to the small details. The box conceded tries through the more drives and recent tests. Would you say that's an area of concern going forward, especially with a good tries against record in the last 10 tests?
No, no, Nathan. Honestly, I don't think it's a big concern. If we think about the two tries that we've conceded, it was not as a lack of effort. Maybe just a small lack in concentration and in going slightly without outwards in terms of our system. But those are things that we've looked at and we've rectified. And if you look back at this past weekend's performance, I think the forwards in that department really stepped up, and our intent to stop mauls and the way we've complied to the systems and that we have in place. The players responded well to that, and that is just something that we now going forward have to consistently do in order to achieve the right results.
And then
Thank you.
last part of,
Yep. Go ahead. Thank you. Sorry.
sorry, Ray. Then last part of the question, I just want your opinion on the 50-22 rule. Are you for it or against? Because obviously it will result in a more for or against you guys.
Obviously, we looked at that, and we also look at the way we play, how it obviously will benefit our game plan and how it would affect our game plan. And I think it comes down to that is that you will have to look at the rule and make a decision in terms of when and where and how you want to implement it, and obviously also how your opponents will react towards that. If it doesn't go to plan. So yeah, looking at all of those factors, I think eventually it comes down to a technical consideration and things that we will consistently monitor and decide on in terms of how we will apply it.
Ryan, Sadnanya, can I ask a question? So if you can hear me.
Yes, Adnan, we can hear you. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Deon. Hi, Marvin. You mentioned earlier, Marvin, your relationship with Evan. You guys were at school together, if I understood you correctly.
Yeah, yes, Adnan. We both went to Tigerberg High School in Cape Town, so I've known him since then. Obviously, I was over in Gauteng playing for the Bulls, and he's been in Cape Town for a long time. So, but yeah, we've known each other for quite a while, and we've got a good relationship, and I learned quite a bit from him. Yeah.
And then just on your ability in the lineups, you guys would make quite a good combination because you're the number 5 lock and he plays 4. So yeah, I just wanted you to expand a bit on that.
Yeah, no, Adnan. Yeah, actually, since school, we've always said we hope to one day play together. We've not yet had the chance to be on the field at the same time together, but we never know. We both are in the group now. Maybe sometime in the future that will happen, and yeah, as players, we have to always be ready. We have to for whatever role the team needs and the role the coaches put you in. So that's sort of where my mindset is at. Whatever role I need to play for the team, I will do that. And yeah, we don't know what will happen in the future.
Thanks very much.